So we're going to move on to the draft. All right. We're going to go full draft, 7 rounds. All right. We're going to go really, really quick with this too. We're just going to simulate all the picks other than ours, of course. All right. And we're going to jump right into a 7-round mock draft. Now, keep in mind, this is the value that they've got that this site has these players listed at. I've got my PFF big board. Tim, if you do you have your PTA big board handy by chance? Or no?
I do not.
Okay,
I do not have it up yet.
No worries at all. We're not going to spend a whole lot of time trying to absolutely nail this draft. We're just going in with the specific needs now of knowing that we signed Trayvon Diggs, we signed Tyler Linderbaum. Okay, so the top needs that we have, in my opinion, in really no particular order, but we've got. Let's see here. Where do I get the needs listed? We had center listed. We're going to wipe that off now. So we're going to go cornerback, offensive line, defensive tackle, linebacker, and tight end.
Tight end, right?
Yeah, those are our needs. So again, whatever order in which the draft falls for us here, I'm okay with taking these players where they need to be taken. But let's get it cranked up and see how this thing unfolds. Poor Fernando Mendoza, he will be a Raider once again. God love his heart. Watch him go out there and do what Drake May did and turn that franchise around real quick. That'd be absolutely awesome. All right, so here we are, guys. Pick 52. Pick 52. We don't really need a center now, but we're still going to include interior offensive line. Keep in mind, we went and got Trayvon Diggs, but we still need corner. We cannot neglect corner. We're still looking for our starting corner, right? Like we're looking for that dude that, okay, he's that dude that within a year or two, that's going to be our number one corner. If you can get him at 52, that would be absolutely awesome. Let's start with cornerbacks here, Tim. And here's how it's shaken out. I love their mock draft because it does it different every time. And I've never seen 2 of them that were the same. Top corners available: Julian Neal out of Arkansas, Davison Mbugnosum, I think I'm saying it right, from Ohio State. You got Malik Muhammad, and you got Traden Stukes, Chandler Rivers, Devin Moore, just to name a few. So I'm going to go through here and just rattle these off real quick in our draft board and see if we can figure out where they are ranked. So Julian Neal is ranked 95th on our board. That would be a bit of a reach for us here, right?
Yep.
We'll call him Igby. All right. Igby is 111. So right now, Julian Neal is the best. Malik Muhammad. We got Malik Muhammad at 216, nowhere near what we need. So it's already dropping off. Stukes, 164. Okay. Chandler Rivers. He is 77th. So that's our best pick right now out of Duke. And again, the consensus big board had him at 98. The PFF big board had him at 68. In 2024, this is a Jaden Reed effect here. In 2024, he was the 3rd highest graded cornerback in all of college football. In 25, he dropped to 99th. But that fits that Jaden Reed mode. If we were sticking to the board right now, Tim, and we were just making ourselves take a cornerback, it would be Chandler Rivers out of Duke is who it would be right here. Now,
sounds to me like the pick is in.
Let's take a look, though. Let's make sure we're not missing out on better value because it might make sense to go offensive line. Keep in mind, we are still looking for a left guard, right, guys? We're still looking for a left guard. So right now, as it sits, let me make a note here. Chandler Rivers is going to be our pick unless something else shakes out big time. And I'm going to try to do this in rapid fashion. Again, the later rounds, we're not going to spend as much time on this, okay? But interior offensive line, offensive tackle, let's see who pops up here. Connor Lew, center, ACL not available till September or October probably. We'll pass on that. Blake Miller, let's see where we got some of these guys at. Blake Miller is an offensive lineman, 44 on our big board, Tim. 44.
So that would be better value then, right there.
And you know how the Packers like to kick their guys inside. So I know some people are going, that's a tackle. We've been here. We know how this goes, right? So Blake Miller would be 44, would be the best pick. Isaiah World is 93rd. All right. Moving on down.
Julian
DeSantis is 107. We already found Neal. He's definitely below Chandler Rivers.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. And then of course you've got let's see, Austin Barber. Let's see how he's looking. He's 88th, so that's a little bit better, but nowhere near where we've got Blake Miller at, right? And then of course Jake
Slaughter. Our boy Jake Slaughter. He could play a little guard, right?
Now, see, this is what sucks. He's in the 48 spot, Tim, but we already signed Linderbaum. True. Can he play guard? Can Jake Slaughter play guard? If he can run the pick, 44, that's a great place to take him, right? I think he was 40. Let me double check here.
That would be an ideal situation, right? He's able to play left guard.
48.
Yeah,
it would. You're right.
It'd be ideal. And then you've got a backup center built in, right? So you got a left guard. And if something happened to Linderbaum, you've got a guy that can plug into center hopefully pretty seamlessly.
Yeah, they're showing him as a center. Let's see if it says anything about him potentially moving around. I know they cross-trained him at the combine. I'm just trying to see. I don't see anything in terms of it saying, "Hey, look, he's going to play guard or he can project a guard." So this is going to be a tough decision.
That turns Goody off of him, right? We know Goody likes the versatile guys, especially on the line. So,
yep,
yeah.
So it's tough, man, because again, we said Blake Miller would be the better pick. I think he's actually a little bit higher than Jake Slaughter, so that would make that easier for us. Yeah, he's at 44, so that makes it a lot easier. Blake Miller would be the pick at tackle. Let's just see. Brian Parker's down there at 99, Tim. Let's see where Brian Parker is. Now he's at 66, okay, and the Packers have met with him. Obviously, he's projected to play center or guard because of the length of his arms. So to me, it's a no-brainer. It comes down between cornerback Rivers, okay, and I want the chat, you guys get ready. You got to help us with this. We're going cornerback Rivers, or we're going to go Blake Miller, offensive tackle, okay? So
Soder in the chat says Miller already.
Miller is hands down the better pick, right? He's in the 44
value.
spot. Right. Rivers is Chandler Rivers is 77, so it's better value for Blake Miller. Now here's the issue, guys. And if we pass on Rivers right here, we're in no man's land on corner.
Yeah, how do we get a corner? We either take it now or we don't take one, right?
We're essentially saying if we don't take Rivers here, all right, guys, we're going out there with Trayvon Diggs, Carrington Valentine, Keyshawn Nixon. That's what we're doing, okay? Now, also, we're picking 52 here. So if you go Chandler Rivers, you're reaching like 20-some picks. So Blake Miller is definitely sticking to the board. This is the perfect scenario where you could probably trade back, okay? Probably trade back. But again, we're not going to do that for time's sake. Someone asked about Devin Moore, and Devin Moore on the board. Let me look at Devin Moore real quick. Devin Moore on our board. This is why I love doing this stuff. See, we got him at 181, okay? Mm-hmm. So, and again, I'm not saying that anybody's incorrect and our board is perfect, but going off of our board, and you guys know by now if you watch this show regularly, this is how we build our board. I would have to pass on Moore right now. If you're saying Jay maybe a little later, I get it, right? I get it. So, yeah, I think everybody is pretty much, not everybody, but the majority of people are saying Miller, right? That's what it's looking like.
Mike says Miller. Pack Superfan says Miller.
Yeah. And then now that I do want to acknowledge the river, right? Yep. Shale Walker says Rivers. I get it. I understand. I wouldn't hate the pick there other than we're reaching a little bit according to our board, but according to, stick to the models board, not necessarily a reach. So we spent a lot of time on this pick, but I think we're going to do it. We're going to pull the trigger here on Blake Miller. He is a tackle, listed as a tackle out of Clemson. So the pick is in at 52. The Packers are going to take an offensive lineman, Blake Miller. So, Tim, we got our offensive lineman we needed, okay? So there's probably going to be your starting left guard, I would imagine, unless he played the right guard. Maybe you start him at right guard, and then you try to figure out who's going to play left guard. And you'll probably take another swing later in the draft if the board lined up there. So now moving on to pick 84. Look who's available, Tim.
Wow.
Brian Parker, Chandler
Moore, a lot
Rivers.
Of guys.
This is a no-brainer. We get Rivers too, guys. Look at this. He's sitting at 95, right? Chandler Rivers is there. We're picking at 84. Now this all of a sudden, Tim, becomes a quality pick, right? Like, where do we have Rivers at?
So you said in the 60s on our board, right?
77.
77.
So this is a no-brainer. We're going to go Chandler Rivers here, right? Does anybody disagree? How awesome is that? So, yeah, that's freaking great. Now, this is a great question here from NFW. Appreciate you, buddy. He says, where's Pons? When I did this before, I did 2 other mock drafts before to kind of get a feel for their mock draft base here. I got Pons with the 52nd pick both times. Now, I'll get raked over the coals on Twitter by Packers draft experts because they're saying, oh, he's too small. I don't care. Pons is a freaking dog. I would love to have D'Angelo Pons play cornerback for the Packers, but he's gone now, okay? So I love this, Tim. I love the way it's just shaking out. You go get Blake Miller, a top 50 pick on your board, and then you get Chandler Rivers is going to be great value here at 84 as well. You got a cornerback to compete with Keyshawn Nixon, opposite of Trayvon Diggs. And now all of a sudden you're in a position where your 2 cornerbacks that were your starters last year might be your 3rd and 4th best outside corner because you're going to have Bull play in the slot, right? We didn't even talk about Nate Hobbs. Well, we're treating Nate Hobbs like he is not going to take a year or two jump with the Packers, and he's just going to be horrible. He may have something to say about playing corner once he's healthy as well, right? So, how do you feel about Rivers here, man? You good with it?
Yeah, and the chat's with it too. Everybody's saying, "Let's do it, slam dunk, run the card."
Let's do it. This is where we'll start to speed up to it. I love this draft already, man. So at pick 84, the Green Bay Packers select Chandler Rivers, cornerback out of Duke. So now I feel good about what we've done on offensive line, corner. Now let's move along to defensive line and linebacker along with tight end. This is where it's going to get a little bit tricky. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on this, but let's reset the board with defensive tackles. All right. Let's reset the board with linebackers. And then we're also going to add tight ends in as well. You know what, Tim? Let's include offensive line as well. What the heck? Let's just see what it shakes out to be. Because we could still use another offensive lineman possibly. So at the top of the list, Jude Bowery, offensive tackle out of BC, Oscar Delp, tight end out of Georgia, Harold Perkins Jr. out of LSU, listed as an outside linebacker, Zane Durant, he's a 3-tech out of Penn State, Cage Casey, offensive tackle out of Boise State. That's at the top of the list there.
Zane Durant, where is he on our board?
Yeah, let me see. If you'll read those names off to me from top to bottom, I'll give them to you.
First one is Jude Bowery, BC.
103.
Okay. Oscar Delp out of Georgia, DELP.
179, so we're Jude Bowery still.
Harold Perkins Jr.
180.
And then Zane Durant, Penn State.
Durant, 334.
Ooh, never mind.
Yeah. Now, you notice Bo Stevens down there, Tim?
Yeah, I'm looking at him and Sam Hecht were some guys we had an eye on, but obviously I think with Hecht we're in the same thing. He's pretty much a pure center, right?
Right. That's the way it's been explained to me. So Bo Stevens is 86 here, guys. 86. That's wild. So you got Bo Stevens at 86 is carrying more value than Bowery, who was, what was he at 101 or whatever. So Bo Stevens would be the pick here at offensive line. How freaking awesome, boys, would it be to go in with Blake Miller at one guard as a rookie, right? And then you at the other, actually Blake Miller and Bo Stevens competing at one guard position and having Anthony Belton play opposite right guard as your second round pick last year. Hopefully he'll take a year or two jump. I'm feeling really good about this offensive line all of a sudden, man. I don't know about you. So
that's Stevens, where we want to be, right? We weren't feeling very good about it last season. So right. I'd like to go into this season feeling good about it.
Yeah, everybody says, hey, G. Soda, Bo knows. Mike Superfan says, go Stevens. I think it would have to be there, right? That would have to be the guy.
And this is what you have to do, right? You have to draft for value, right? You have to look at your board and you got to take your heart out of it sometimes and just go by the numbers. I mean, he's a top 100 pick, and we're able to get him right here at 120.
That's just solid, dude. Linebacker, I want to isolate linebacker for just a second here, okay? Red Murdoch is one of our top guys, obviously. We've talked about him a lot out of Buffalo because of Emilio. Read those names off to me. I just want to make sure we're not overlooking a stack back here, Tim. Perkins, I've got. Okay, Perkins is 180.
Okay, Lander Barton.
Lander, I hardly know her. We don't even have a grade on him. Okay, so he's going to be undrafted most likely. He's on the list, but we don't have a grade for him. He's way down there. Okay?
Aiden Fisher out of Indiana. Hopefully, not collecting Social Security yet.
Exactly. Aiden Fisher, same thing. No grade yet. He's way down the list.
All right, so we got Murdoch already.
Red Murdoch is 110 on our board. So I think we've got a winner there at linebacker, right? So if we were to go linebacker, Tim, it would be Red Murdoch, but he's 110th on our board. That'd be a great pick at 120. However, Bo Stevens, I just like to kind of cross-check that. That makes sense.
And we had Stevens at what, 89, you said?
Yes, I think so. Let me see. BAOU Stevens, 86, actually.
86. Oh, my God. Run the card. Let's go.
Yeah. I just want to take one look here at D tackles. I'm just going through them real quick. K Parts 150, not a good enough value. Xavier, if I'm saying that right. Harris 194, not good enough.
Look
value.
at Mike Hebring. Stick to your board. Exactly. I love it.
That's what we're doing, Mike. I just want to make sure there ain't one that's sneaking down here. That I'll tell you when it comes to mind, and I've looked at this already. Is Skylar Gill Howard? He's going to be coming up soon. We've got him at 121, Tim. Okay, and they're showing him at 161 on their ranking. Obviously, it'd be a reach in both scenarios here for us because Bo Stevens is the better pick. But if we're going to go get a defensive tackle, and they got him listed as a 5 tech, anybody who's listed as a 5 tech, I see them as a 3 tech, right? A 5 tech, you're obviously playing on the outside shoulder of the tackle. They can kick in between the guard and the tackle, right? It's just when you get into the 1 techs, unless it's a dominant player, that's where it maybe doesn't make a whole lot of sense to try to force them into a 3 tech role unless it's a nickel defense. So I just want to say that Skylar Gill-Howard, if he's there after we make this pick, we're probably going to go get him, okay? But right now, we're going to go interior offensive lineman, Bo Stevens. So the pick is in, Tim, at pick 120. The Green Bay Packers are going to select guard out of Iowa, Bo Stevens. Gotta love his draft, dude. This is solid.
Let's go.
So you got all the offensive line we need. We're good to go there. Now we're looking at D tackle, linebacker, and tight end. We're at pick 58. D tackle, look who's there. Skylar Gill-Howard. Love it. Absolutely.
Yeah, this is shaping up pretty nice.
Now, linebacker, Tim, Red Murdoch is still there. Okay. So what we've got it narrowed down to now are 2 players that we really like coming down the stretch is Skylar Gill-Howard and Red Murdoch. So we're going to take the better available right now to make sure that gives us the best shot of getting them both. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
All right. So we're going to go with Skylar Gill-Howard. Does anybody disagree with Skylar Gill-Howard? Because I'm with Mike. I think there's a good chance, Mike, that
Murdoch might still be there. Yeah.
Yeah, he'll be there in the next round. I agree with that. So with that being said, I think we're good with it, man. What do we think? We good with it?
I think the pick is in, man. Let's do it.
All right. With the 158th pick, Green Bay Packers are going to select defensive tackle Skylar Gill-Howard out of Texas Tech. And now you got you a defensive lineman to help there with wide, a little bit of depth, a little bit of competition. So now we're looking at linebacker and tight end. We kind of neglected tight end. There was probably, oh my God, Tim, look at who's at the top. Are you kidding me?
Whoa.
I've probably been saying his name wrong, and I'm going to continue to say it wrong. I don't care. But this kid out of Houston, guys, Koziol, Kazoil is what I've been calling him. If you had to guess, Tim, where do you think he's ranked on our board?
On our board, I'm going to say 130.
We got him at 97.
Holy cow.
So now we got a problem. Houston, we have a problem. We talked about potentially taking Red Murdoch, right? Actually, Red Murdoch is gone, so we don't even have to make that decision now. John Michael Gillenborg is one that the Packers met with. Let's see where they got Gilly at. Gilly on the board is 129, so hands down, it's Tanner here. So I want to ask the chat. I need you guys yes or no to Tanner here as quick as possible. Murdoch is gone. So, Mike, again, why do we do this, right? You said Murdoch will be available next round. We were hoping he was. He's gone. Kind of shows us we're really pushing the scale once you get into the upper 100s, right? You know, closer to 200 pick. Red Murdoch probably going to be gone. So how do we feel about Tanner here, boys? I need to know.
Yes,
chat.
yes. Bates says yes. Chad Inc. says yes.
Yeah.
Chester says, LOL, we should be that lucky.
Right. Yep. And here's the thing.
Says yes.
I think everybody's on board. This is awesome.
Mike says stick to the board again.
Always. So with Tanner, what do you get? You're getting a player that's going to be very, very similar to Luke Musgrave. He's not going to be a great blocking tight end, right? But here are his strengths, guys. Elite size at 6'7", creating mismatches, okay? 23 career touchdowns, red zone weapon is what he is. 61% contested catch rate. 94 catches at Ball State his junior year before he moved on to Houston, okay? Top 3 in tight end receiving yards in 2025. Massive, and I mean massive catch radius. Ball skills for size. You know, sometimes those big guys, they don't have great ball skills. This dude's got ball skills for a 6'7" tight end. Senior Bowl acceptance, obviously performed at the Senior Bowl. Matter of fact, let me just take a quick look here and see exactly how he performed. Did he get a bonus? He did not get a bonus, but I do know he caught a touchdown. As soon as he caught that touchdown in practice, that was it was a beautiful catch, kind of toe tap catch in the back corner of the end zone. I immediately went and filled his profile out and tweeted it out. So, Senior Bowl obviously played there. Group of 5 All-American and the number 5 tight end according to Mel Kiper. We're getting a top 5 tight end.
Who in the hell is a Mel Kiper anyway?
We got to get that back. I'm sorry. We got to have that. I'll make that happen. I promise you. So this is a no-brainer, man. We're doing it. We're going to run the card. We get my boy. This is one of my draft crushes this year. Tanner Kazoil. All right. Tight end out of Houston with the 200th pick. Green Bay is going to go tight end here. So
nothing wrong with that. I like the comp to Musgrave. Also, we know Musgrave was not, the most gifted blocker. early on, but I think he's gotten himself together enough as of late. He was blocking a lot better last year, and we're not asking guys like this to be an inline tight end. We're asking them to be a pass catching target. So I like the pick.
Yeah, help chip a little bit, right? Maybe
yeah,
bring
as long as you can chip, I'll take that.
Yeah, definitely. I'm eager to see, when he gets to the combine, if he tests well at 6'7", his stock's going to go through the roof. We may never see him at this pick, obviously. So now it gets really creative here. The only need that we've got listed is stack backer. Now, are we really expecting these guys to help too much? I don't know. Let's run through them. Tim, if you'll help me, I got the first one. Gentry. Okay. Gentry's at 339.
Jimmy Rolder, Rolder.
I ain't even going to say that one. That sounds too bad.
Rolder.
668. So obviously he doesn't have a grade. So we got him listed as undrafted here. Okay.
Xavier. Oh wait, this outside backer. We looking stack backers only?
No, we go both because they don't have them listed as edge. So yeah, we're looking for both.
Xavier Story, Sorey Jr.
Yeah, 435 on our board.
Holy cow! No, thank you.
So
Owen Heineke, Oklahoma Sooners.
He's 241. So you see, we definitely missed on stack back, right?
All right.
OBIs. Okay, this guy is 363, and then we'll go one more here. Elarms, right? Elarms. He's at 225. That would probably be our best pick so far, wouldn't it? Unless Gentry was. I think it would definitely be this Caleb Elarms would be the pick. So let me write him down so I don't forget him. And we're going to look at some other positions here as well because we don't want to pass up on a great player just because we're trying to fit a need here. Yeah. And again, I feel fairly comfortable with what we got, to be honest with you. Again, there was just bigger needs than stackbacker in my opinion. And who knows, maybe you can get Quay back in free agency, for a little bit less than that $10 million he was projected at. But right now it's going to be Elarms would be the stackbacker. Let's reset the board and just go all.
Look at running back.
Hey, let's take a look at running back real quick. Noah Whittington. Let's read these off real quick. Whittington. Oh, he's 193, Tim.
Okay.
Jaden Knott's way down there. I know that. Haynes is 349. Adam Randall is 342.
Desmond Reed, REID.
Last one we'll do here. Reed 202. That's a little bit better. So, yeah, Noah Whittington would hands down be the better pick here at 193. But let's see how close it is now to that stack backer position we were just talking about. Right? Actually, I got to look at D tackle real quick too, just to see if my boy's there or not. He's already gone from Southeastern Louisiana. He's really high on obviously a smaller school. So clearing it off, stack backer we said was Elarms, right?
Yep.
So it comes down to him or the running back. He's 225. The running back is just inside the top 200 there, Tim. So for me, if you're going best available, you would go with the running back, Noah Whittington. How does the chat feel about it? Chat, would you rather take running back, Noah Whittington, or would you rather take linebacker, Elarms, or even though, like I said, Whittington is 193 on the board. He's higher on our board, but do we feel like probably going to be similar to the same cluster there in terms of tiers of value? Maybe we go stack backer. I think I'm leaning towards stack back. I just want to see what the chat says here. So, oh wow, Mike says go Whittington. All right, stick to the board, right, Mike?
Yep. Chris says linebacker.
All right. William says running back. Okay.
Great point by Mike. We do. We possibly need a developmental type of running back now with the big question mark with Marshawn Lloyd, right?
Yep, absolutely. Chad Inc. says linebacker. I feel like linebacker is it just me or does it – let's see. Well, it's 1, 2, 3. I don't know. It's kind of split right now, isn't it? Chester says Whittington's a beast, so I think he's going Chester. Cheo's going linebacker. So it's pretty split. This is interesting, man. Seeing that it's split.
Soder has spoken, running back. Let's go.
Seeing that it's split, we're going to go with the higher on our board, and that would be running back. So we'll go Noah Whittington out of Oregon just to learn a little bit about him. Well, actually, there's nothing to learn. They don't have a card for him. So we're going to fly blind here and take
That's how we know it's the steal of the draft, baby. Let's go.
And listen, I'll give you this information on him, okay? The reason he has a 194 on our board, so the consensus big board had him at 168. The PFF big board had him at 253. In 2025, he was the 63rd highest graded running back. That's a strong grade. So his PFF grade of 2025, it jumped from 256 in 24 to 63rd in 25. So he seems to be a bit of an ascending player there too. So that's a good sign. So let's do it. Let's go running back. Noah Whittington out of Oregon. All right. And we got one more pick, or actually two more picks because these 7th round picks. Look at this.
Hold up, kicker. Where the hell's kicker on this joint?
Hey, let's see it.
Hanging around in the 7th round.
Look who's still there, Tim. Elarm.
Oh,
let's go ahead and nab him. Okay, so we got them both. That's a situation where we had to make the decision between two different guys, right? And we ended up getting them both. That's awesome. So we'll go linebacker out of TCU, Elarm's or. We have hit all of our needs, guys. We got cornerback. We got 2 offensive linemen. We got a defensive tackle. We got a linebacker. We got a tight end. With the 254th pick, we just went and got our linebacker in Caleb Elarm's or. Now we got one more pick to play with. I'm going to do this, guys. Y'all might get mad at me. I'm going to do it anyway. Quarterback. Tim, hear me out here, okay? Hear me out, sir. Who is our backup quarterback? Because we know that Malik Willis is going to be gone, right? It's going to be our boy from Cincinnati, played for the Falcons. I've already missed his name. Chat, help me out. Who is our backup right now?
Desmond Ridder.
So listen to these grades that we've got on some of these quarterbacks. Daylen Green out of Arkansas, we got him at 128. Okay, keep that in mind. And he's not going to be the best one, but you can see that's great value, especially for a quarterback.
Especially at 257.
Right. Altmaier's in the 200s, nowhere near. Cole Payton is so interesting to me, Tim. We got him at 153. So obviously still Daylen Green would be the better pick here according to our board. But Cole Payton won the MVP for the Senior Bowl, right? If I remember correctly, or at least he got some kind of major award. It's a major award. So he got the 8-point bonus there. All right. His grade is a 128.7. We got him in the 153 spot. He was the highest graded quarterback in all of college football, according to PFF in 25. Now, he played for North Dakota State, right?
Who's our new wide receivers coach?
Interesting. Very, very interesting. So, again, where are they projecting him at? 240 on their board. There's a chance that he might go undrafted and you could sign him. This is the one that's going to blow everybody's mind. This guy right here, Diego Pavia. Okay, does anybody know anything about Diego Pavia other than the fact that he's 5'9"? And I know this is where we're getting in fantasy land here, okay? But with Diego Pavia, if you had to guess, where do you think he's at on our board, Tim?
Is he inside the top 200?
He is.
150.
He's at 104.
Wow.
Now, again, are the Packers going to draft a 5'9" quarterback? It's not going to happen, right? Just ain't going to happen. And I've been very outspoken on Diego Pavia, okay? He has a chip on his shoulder. There's a fine line between cocky and confident. Let me put it this way. I think he played at New Mexico State, or maybe he played for a team that played at New Mexico State. He snuck into their weight room and pissed on their weight benches. Like, that's the type of dude this guy is. He's a scumbag. I'm just going to be honest. There's no allegedly here. I live in Tennessee. I've heard the stories. Diego Pavia is not a good human being. But damn, when you look at his grades on our board, man, 2023, he was 47th at quarterback. 24, he jumped to 21st. 25, he jumped to 5th. He had the Vanderbilt Commodores. Vandy, a medical school like this. Vanderbilt's never been good at football my whole life, okay? Vanderbilt's that one team that Kentucky could always beat on the roster. Now that's changed. They were literally in contention to make the college football playoff. And I'm telling you, I'm not exaggerating. It's because of Diego Pavia. And again, they ran an offense that's very gimmicky, right? It's not a pro style offense. So that's something that's going to hurt his draft stock. I'm not saying we should take him. I'm just saying at some point in the draft, we're going to get to the point where we're going to go, who's going to take Diego Pavia? Is he going to go undrafted? Is somebody going to invite him to camp? You know,
sure.
Like Superfan says, can Pavia return punts? I don't think he can, Mike. I don't, but I could be wrong. All right. So
I do like his point, Mike's point also about, Peyton, when we're comparing these two.
Yes.
He's more of a dual threat kind of guy. So that, for what that's worth.
I do like, though, that we're sitting here in the 7th round and we actually have options for a potential backup quarterback. Like Joey Aguilar is not going to be available. He is. It looks like he's going to win that court case. I don't know if you kept up with that or not, Tim, but he's going back to college again. Basically, what that is, they got to get a restraining order on the NCAA. They file a lawsuit and they have to grant them another year, and that's going to court in downtown Knoxville. And it's hilarious. It got mentioned on the news the other day. They said the judge that's overseeing that to approve or disapprove Joey Aguilar going back to the University of Tennessee. Yes, he's the judge is a UT alum. So it's like, yeah, he's going to be playing college football this year probably. So it's just hilarious how that's gotten going. Now, one that's really interesting here is Gronowski. Okay. Actually, let me check Miller Moss. Let's do our due diligence. He's 278. So Gronowski, Tim, I want to say he's a little bit lower on our board, but Gronowski was Iowa's quarterback. He's the 162 spot, but he won the East-West Shrine Bowl MVP. Okay, so that really pops to you. His PFF grades in 23, he was 4th, 49th, 59th. So he's gotten worse in terms of grades and rankings, but still, those are solid grades. You see consistency, you just don't see that ascending player. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So that's a guy that if he goes undrafted, I wouldn't mind him to sign him. Same thing with Diego Pavia. Invite him into camp, whatever you got to do. I
mean, a lot of these guys might just be camp arms, right? We might be having a camp arm conversation in general, but you still want the best one that you can get your hands on, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So here's what I want to ask the chat. I know we wasted a lot of time talking quarterback. Did anybody grab your all's attention at quarterback to go, hey, that's worth spending a 7th round pick on? And who knows, maybe you catch lightning in a bottle and you find the next. Can we be honest? The final pick of the draft was Brock freaking Purdy, and he's got a franchise quarterback contract now. Yep. So that's why I want to put a little bit of thought into this.
I'd go with Peyton off my gut. I'm just saying Peyton, but what does the chat think?
Yeah, Tim said it. I want to give Tim credit here. Tim, what is it? Tim Lidicote. I hope I'm saying that right. He had that topped out right as I said it. So he didn't hear me say it. He said Purdy was the last pick in the draft, right? So who would it be if we're going to have some fun here and go with the quarterback, right?
Coach Lynn says Peyton.
Yeah.
North Dakota, baby, alum. Let's go.
It looks like Peyton is probably the guy, right? Cole Peyton. Let's go back to quarterbacks again real quick. And we could probably go through all these positions and find another player that hey, that makes sense here. But I think it would be worth it to take a swing here, man, to take a swing on a quarterback.
I like the AC. Just don't think I want Pavia anywhere near our locker room.
Oh boy. Or you know what? If he does come in the locker room, what I would do is walk him in and have him go up to Nas Stackhouse and go, hey, here's Nas Stackhouse. He's gonna be checking in on you from time to time. You know what I mean? Twist his little 5'9" ass up and throw him in a hamper in the corner somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
I love it. Yeah. Introduce him to Nas Stackhouse and Escalade Belton. See how that goes.
Right. So I think that's what we're going to do, man. We're going to have a little fun, and we're going to go quarterback here. Tim, you okay with it?
I'm okay with it.
All right.
Best time to take one is when you don't need one.
And you know what? If you draft Cole Peyton and you have to cut him and put him on the practice squad, imagine him being your practice squad quarterback. He's mobile. Let me explain why that's important, guys. When you play a mobile quarterback, let's say we're going up against Lamar Jackson, or we're going up against I'm trying to think of another decent mobile quarterback that we might. Caleb Williams, right? Caleb Williams likes to run around scramble. You have him run the scout team, and he can mimic that. He can duplicate Caleb's ability to move around, and it's just really, really important to have those type of guys on your practice squad. So I really, really like this, man. We're going to go, Tim, the pick is in at pick 257. We're going to go with quarterback out of North Dakota State, Cole Peyton. I love that pick, by the way. Hey, look at that. We got an A-.
We got an A- for our whole offseason grade. Look at that.
So, and again, what's the downside, guys? We did some restructure. We pushed some future money out, right? Future dead money of $18.7 million. We'll handle that on down the road. Again, I'm not overly concerned about that. We finished right on the threshold of that extra space we need to operate with. Now, we'll probably do another future restructure and get that around 10 or 12 million. So you got even more money to operate with there as well. But this is what I love about this site. Look at the recap. The cuts, Elton Jenkins, right, freed up $19.5 million. Aaron Banks freed up 4.2 this year and a boatload next year. We restructured Rashawn Gary and freed up $11.2 million. Restructured Xavier McKinney and Josh Jacobs and freed up a total of $7.5 million. In free agency, we went and signed Trayvon Diggs and Tyler Linderbaum. And then in the draft, you went and got Blake Miller, a top 50 talent. Chandler Rivers, a borderline top 50 talent. He's kind of in the 70s, 80s. So there's you a cornerback that could potentially start out of Duke. You went and got Bo Stevens, who's going to compete for a starting job alongside Blake Miller and your second-round pick last year in Anthony Belton to play guard. Obviously, Bo Stevens coming out of Iowa. Skylar Gill-Howard, a 5-tech defensive tackle that you could potentially play there alongside Devontae White. He's going to be competing in the defensive tackle room. Tanner Kazoil, a physical just freak, 6'7", a wide receiver-esque tight end that you could work into the rotation along with Luke Musgrave. Still try to bring back your guys and John Fitzpatrick and Josh Wally and these guys, whichever one of those that are healthy, right? Get them back in the fold so they can kind of play that move tight end for you. Noah Whittington gives you a little bit of an insurance policy and some depth at the running back position. You get Caleb Elarms so you put another stack backer in the room where we lost Quay Walker. So it's going to be Tyron Hopper and Isaiah McDuffie fighting it out for that second nickel linebacker spot. And then whoever loses is going to be your third stack backer in your 4-3. And then, of course, Cole Payton is going to be your practice squad quarterback. Who knows? Maybe he beats Desmond Ridder out.
I was just going to say that's a good problem to have, right? Yep. You either got a hell of a practice squad quarterback, or you got a guy that went out there and stole the job from Desmond Ridder. So we'll see.
Absolutely, love it, man, love it. So here's what's really cool: when you go share my draft, I think there's a way that you can actually do the image. Check this out, Tim. If it pops up for you guys, I don't know if it popped up or not. It probably didn't, did it? Okay, so I'm going to screen grab it here, and we're going to keep it. This site is absolutely awesome. You guys have got to go check it out. Again, this is sticktothemodel.com. Okay. And make sure you guys go give them a follow over on X. So I'm going to throw it up here in if we got room here on the memory, I think we do. If not, I'll free it up real quick and then we'll wrap this big bear up. I'm supposed to be downstairs building a fire so we can watch the Cats play tonight. I'm in trouble. This
is one of the better tools though, for sure. Big shout out
awesome.
To Stick to the Model. This is incredible.
Yeah. So check it out, Tim. Look how it does this, man. So now you get this. There's your whole breakdown of the offseason. You got your cuts, your restructures, how much money you freed up, right? Your free agent signings and what deals they got, and then all your draft picks right there on the card. Is that not awesome?
And look, we're 17 million over.
Well, no, that's what we started.
Started with.
Yeah, we started with the 10.7, right? And then the
we're in the range we wanted to be.
Absolutely.
We wanted it 6 to 10 million buffer zone.
Yep, 6.7 is what we ended at. And again, you get into this offseason, right? Restructure another contract or two, free up that money. Who knows? Maybe you get to camp and you make a surprise cut, and maybe Keyshawn doesn't make the roster. You cut him, you free up $5 million, depending on when his roster bonus actually hits, what that date is, right? So That's another way of looking at it. So yeah, regardless, this is what I was saying, guys. A month and a half, 2 months ago, when people were talking about the Packers are screwed, they have no cap, they can't do anything. We just troubleshot this in less than an hour, right at an hour, and we literally walked through the whole process and showed you how there's nothing dramatic here, right, Tim? I think we would all agree we would rather have Tyler Linderbaum starting at center than Elton Jenkins, okay? And I think we would all agree that we would rather have Blake Miller or Bo Stevens win the job for guard as opposed to keeping Aaron Banks. So this is nothing like crazy dramatic, man. I love this, man. It's really, really
I do too.
Really interesting. So,
and we hit all our needs in the draft as well.
Yeah. Oh, God, Chester, see, just gave me the shakes over here. He says, in a minute, Clayton's going to hear the dreaded words, quote, never mind. I already took care of it, LOL. So I'll go down there and there'll be a fire built and I'll be in trouble. That's what's going to happen. So, Unbelievable. So if you guys are watching this back later, let us know in the comments, what do you think about that offseason? I was excited to do this. This is the first time we've ever been able to do a show and walk through in orderly fashion each stage, the restructure period, right, the free agency period, and the draft period. I want to thank everybody in the chat. The feedback y'all have given us in here today was absolutely awesome. Was it not, Tim? Just kind of bouncing ideas off each other.
Real time. I love it. Great work in the chat, everybody.
It was awesome. So we'll get all these videos edited. That way, if you came in late, like, what are you talking about? Y'all did free agency. I'm going to get those edited where you can just go watch those clips. I'm trying to make it as convenient for everybody as possible in that regard. I need everybody to do me a big favor, okay? Smash that like button so it helps the YouTube stream. And also, wherever you get your podcasts, go search Packer Fan Total Access. We've got an overflow channel. Outside of Packernet, they still got our content, okay? But there's going to be extra content that he doesn't need on his site that's kind of clustering up over there. We're going to have that overflow on our own podcast network as well. So that's something that's now launching, okay? So if you guys would, go give us a review over there and make sure you subscribe to wherever you get your podcasts. We're on iTunes. We're on Spotify. We're on iHeartRadio. We're on Podcast Republic. Everywhere you get podcasts, we should be up and running. So Tim, appreciate your time, man.
Appreciate you too. Don't forget, hit up the Patreon too as well, guys.
Absolutely. Yeah. Great call. The best way to support what we do here is patreon.com/Packer Fan Total Access. You'll get access to all this information that we cover. Most of the time when you see the articles I put on screen, I put them over there first. So you guys have first dibs on it. I'm going to share this image over there too and get everybody's take in there. So YouTube comments, let us know what you think. If you're in the Patreon group, take the conversation to the Patreon group and tell us what you would have done different. Maybe something you liked or didn't like about what we did there.
That's one of the added bonuses of being a member on Patreon is that even when the show ends, the conversation doesn't. You can just jump in the chat, talk ball all day.
Absolutely. So if I forget to put that in Patreon, you guys make sure you remind me, okay, I've got the screen grab and I'm going to get these edited and get everything out. So greatly appreciate everybody. Hit that like button for us on the way out. That's Tim. I'm Clayton. This is PTA. You guys are absolutely awesome. We will see y'all tomorrow.
Here we go.
We're out. Bye, guys.